I alluded in the opening to the changes we were trying to make, some that were completed in regards to Travis Henry taking 3 horses, Carmen Auciello taking 1, which was 4. Donato has been approved to stay on the basis that he won't race until Kevin's days are up, which is okay. Kevin ended up, for those of you who don't know, for the medication violation, I think this is important also. Kevin ended up getting 20 days and $1,000. I think solely on the basis they recognized that it was likely a mistaken medical medication violation, in the sense that cobalt is found everywhere. Looking at the vitamins that were found in Kevin's barn. So what they do is, and it's smart. I love that they do this. Before you're informed you get a positive, you've had a medication violation. They show up at your barn and they search your barn, which makes sense. Good for them. They searched Kevin's barn and found a number of the vitamins that would have and do have cobalt in them, and those vitamins in their own are not illegal to have. It's perfectly well within his rights to have them. I think in the way he was using them, they were stacking. What that means is he might have used 3 different kinds of vitamins, and all 3 of those vitamins had cobalt in them. And what that happens is it stacks. And I believe the preliminary findings, I would assume, from the AGCO was that indeed what had happened is those vitamins had stacked and got Kevin a positive. Now, you being the nice people you are, you reached out and said, well, can Kevin come back? It still doesn't change the stance of the stable, in the sense that I do feel that had I been in Kevin's position, I may have made the same error also. Anybody could have, but they didn't. Kevin did. And unfortunately, those 2 particular horses on that particular night ended up testing positive for cobalt, and the ramifications for that are still quite large. Think about it. If you don't know me and you don't know the stable, and a year from now you Google the stable and you're looking through and doing your homework, as you should, before you get involved with anybody in this industry, and you come upon this cobalt problem, it may cause pause. So if you investigate further, 2 things need to be found. One, that the regulatory body, the AGCO, found that likely what took place is these vitamins had stacked and got Kevin a positive. It happens, I guess. Secondly, that the owner and operator of the stable took quick and decisive action in ensuring the integrity stays as strong as it can. Obviously, I can't make things perfect again. That will always be on our record that it was there. But I think anybody doing their homework and investigating know that Kevin McMaster has had a long and illustrious career. He's a good horseman, a good person, but unfortunately made a mistake, and it did cost him his job. And I'm in a tough spot, but I have to do what's best for the stable, our clients, and quite frankly, my family moving forward. And that is why we ended up where we are. I think Kevin understands, and as I've said a million times, I wish him all the luck in the world. Just a nice man. So, in regards to the horses, we had made some decisions. Blue Monk is now with Carmen Auciello, and I made it very clear to Carmen, Kevin's days are up on the 12th. So if you want to race him once or twice and you don't get along with him, or maybe he's not what you thought he might be or could be, simply return him, and we'll race the horse. I suspect this is the type of horse that'll fit Carmen's operation quite well. So I would like to see him race well his next start. Give him a 1 race grace to get a feel for him, and then I would expect he would race much better in his second start. And if that doesn't happen, then we can have a discussion both between you and I and Carmen shortly after there. So that's Blue Monk. That's dealt with. Blue Monk is in the care and released to Carmen Auciello. Now, I spoke to Travis Henry. Him and his wife have a small barn also. Travis drives Italian Grit. Don't believe me, just watch. He's driven and been driving. And the other little filly's name, Broadway Roll. I asked him if he wanted to take him. Now, I said, if you're busy and you can do it for a few weeks, I'd appreciate it. If you'd rather keep the horses after that time frame, I'm sure we can work something out. You're welcome to keep the horses. In regards to the horses themselves, Broadway Roll I would imagine somebody from New York, if she puts up a couple of lines like she did 2 starts ago, would be interested in purchasing her. On the flip side of that, Italian Grit, maybe somebody in Indiana would be interested in purchasing him. So those 2 horses may not be staying for a long time. But don't believe me, just watch. Had been racing well at that class in Flamborough. Now I know Travis was worried that maybe, I don't know if he'd get around London the same way he'd get around Flamborough. But as I told him, just put him in where he can win. Put the horse, and I know people are trying to read between the lines saying, did I just tell him to put him in a claimer? Absolutely not. Put him in the class he was in. But don't be scared to race him at London just because he puts in the odd step. If you're that worried about it, I can go drive him, but I suspect he'll be just fine. So those are 4. So Admirable. We've opted to fix up that foot. I think maybe in a week we can train her in 57, 58 at Mohawk, which would set her up nicely. She can race on the 13th, which would be good. So we can have her ready for that. What else? Donover, as I said, can go to Jason's barn. Can't race until the 13th. Again, I'm okay with that. And then Timo Houdini, I had asked Mario to speak to Ben about taking him. He said, listen, I got a 40-horse barn. I have like 44 horses right now. I have 3 on the way. I really don't want to have 2 barns. So he has a barn at the training center he's at. He doesn't want to have another horse in another barn. I don't blame the guy. So he declined. He declined the horse. So again, I had looked at it and said, well, Timo Houdini is himself suspended until the 5th or 4th of April, and he's eligible to race on the 13th. There's a week. I mean, obviously at the stable here, we're going to try to do our best to, we'll continue to train the horses, but charge everybody, a turnout rate while these horses are suspended. It's certainly not your fault that he is, and at the same time, it's part of racing. Is, we did everything we could to safeguard this, but at the same time, fair is fair. So we're looking at another 7-8 days. So we trained him up hard this week on Wednesday. Again, we can take him over and train him in 58 or 59 first part of April, and then wait that 12 days from the race. That's a possibility. Or we can look for somebody to take the horse. But again, taking the horse for a week or sending the horse to a Mohawk trainer when the horse just simply isn't a Mohawk horse just makes little sense. And people may not want to hear that. But Timo Houdini is not going to trot in 54 at Mohawk. He looks like he's getting better, but it's quite a jump from the preferred 3 and preferred 2 on the B tracks to the non-winners of 100 or 4 races at Mohawk. Not a place we're in a big hurry to get to with Timo Houdini, but we could try it. I just don't think moving the horse to another barn right now. I would have okayed Ben, top guy, great trainer. Again, somebody like Richard Full, again. I just don't think there's a big hurry to get Timo Houdini out. Timo Houdini is a great caretaker in Georgia. She does a great job with the horse. And to just send him to a big box trainer just to send him there, I don't know that that's the best move. So before I make any decisions, certainly 100% on Timo Houdini, I want to talk to the group. I want to talk to my partners with Timo Houdini and figure out what their feelings are. I think when we're looking at it right now, we're 3-4 days away from April 1st, which makes us 2 weeks away from him being eligible to be moved to any trainer of our choosing, and a week from being off the suspended list himself. So the time frame being what it is may play a major role in this decision. So as I said, 3 horses heading to Travis Henry, 1 horse is already headed to Carmen Osiello, and then we'll wait with So Admirable. Donover will qualify next week and can't race until the 13th, and subsequently Timo Houdini, as of this second, needs a trainer, but I'll discuss that with the Timo Houdini group. So there's your update. This will be likely the final video, the closing chapter in this. Obviously not the way we wanted to part ways with Kevin. Great guy, but it is what it is, and we will move forward together as one group. So I will talk to all of you soon. It is a rainy, miserable day here in Ontario, but it was a great day yesterday. Babies train good, horses race good. Hopefully build on that moving forward. Take care.